Thai anti-government protesters are defying a government ban on demonstrations for a second day and ignored a warning by Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. And they've also abruptly changed locations for their rally after police stepped up measures to stop them. Mr. Prayut says the state of emergency in the capital is necessary as the situation turned violent over the past few days. The emergency decree has been extended for 30 days unless the situation eases. And our correspondents May Wong and Saksesa Sambat are at the protest sites now. First to May, give us an update on the situation where you are and what's happening right now.
The situation right now is extremely fluid given the fact that the protesters just a while ago were scrambling away from the center of the gathering of the protest site and away from that because I'm hearing that riot police as well as water cannon trucks appear to be moving in and pushing the crowd back, and I see a lot of people then were starting to be really frightened and afraid and trying to disperse. However, they are continuing to remain strong at this stage because they have gone back to the original position, continuing to show the three-finger sign in sure defiance of the government. Now, this location, as you mentioned earlier, is not really the initial and intended location. In fact, the first location that they were supposed to have the protest was about a 15-minute walk away from here. That was the one that they held the mass protest last evening as well, yesterday on Thursday. And now, because at that site, they have literally blocked the roads, police officers were initially mobilized over there to barricade the entire area to prevent this kind of an assembly. So within a quick last-minute decision, the protest leaders decided to mobilize everybody else to come to this other site instead. This other site is right in front of MBK. If you're familiar with Bangkok downtown shopping district, it's near MBK, it's near Siam Paragon, it's near Siam Discovery Center, as well as surrounded by the Bangkok Art and Culture Center. That gives you an idea as to where this is. Definitely the heart of the shopping district, and we're looking at thousands of people gathered here despite this heavy downpour that's going on right now. The protesters remain determined to continue to press on with their call for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to step down and also for a change in this entire government because they feel that it is not democratic enough and they are calling for more democracy in this country. At this moment, we have to keep a very close watch as to what's happening because you know that at this stage they are in clear defiance of the law. The law allows the police to go in and disperse the crowd because this is an unlawful assembly under the emergency decree at this point. So everyone at this stage is flouting that law, and they can be jailed, they can be fined, and obviously they can be hauled up without any kind of explanation, and they can be detained for up to 7 days and also extended for until 1 month. Already this is unacceptable yesterday, it's unacceptable today, but at this stage we are still seeing the fact that it is being allowed. The police are still exercising a lot of restraint at this point, but we have to be very careful and we have to be very cautious about what is going to happen next.
Yeah, thanks for that update, May there. May Wong speaking to us. So let's cross over to Saksesa Sambat. He's also down on the streets in Bangkok. Saksesa, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has said he will not resign and vowed to enforce the emergency decree. How is he going to do that?
Well, we're already seeing this in action. Just to add what May Wong was saying, we do hear reports from water cannons being used on the protesters right now in front of Siam Center, about west from here. And we saw people, the people that was running down the road that May was describing also as well in reaction to that. And we are seeing, if you can ask my cameraman to pan over there to see, there are scores of people now apparently walking away from the protest site. I do not know where they're going right now yet, but there seems to be that, you know, things are very fluid, as May has said. If I can ask my cameraman to go back to me. Yes, indeed. Now, to your earlier question, you know, how he's going to do that. Earlier today, the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has told the media that he has reiterated the necessity of the emergency decree, saying that the situation is not normal and things that have never happened before have happened. That is in reference to the incident with the royal motorcade and Queen Sutita that has been confronted by protesters on Wednesday. Now, that is something that is very unprecedented in so many different ways, as has been the criticism and the calls for reform of the monarchy before that as well. But they are also now being he is also refusing to step down, to resign, which is one of the three demands by the protesters that we have heard for the last couple of weeks. There are also now comparison being drawn to the protests in Hong Kong that we have seen in the past few years. And even Prayut himself is making reference to that. Let's take a listen to that.
แล้ววันนี้ฮ่องกงโมเดลเป็นยังไงบ้างอะเป็นไงบ้างฮ่องกงก็เสียหายธุรกิจหมดทุกอย่างพังพินาศหมดแล้วคนชุมนุมเป็นยังไงบ้างอะแต่นั่นเขาเป็นสังคมนิยมประชาธิปไตยนะเราประชาธิปไตยใช่ไหมเราทำได้ยังไงเราก็ทำให้ดีที่สุดมันอยู่ด้วยความร่วมมือของพวกเราทุกคนน่ะคนไทยหรือเปล่า
Well, in any case, I mean, in some way or form, the Hong Kong model has we are already seeing it in action from both sides. You know, not only the water cannons being used on the protesters, as we have heard, but also the protesters themselves, protecting themselves with umbrellas, shielding themselves with umbrella. So many different tactics themselves, and it looks like that we are seeing many parallels, and it looks like that we're seeing that, well, history not repeating, but in a way rhyming.
All right, many thanks for getting us up to speed. We were speaking to Mei Wong earlier and Saksit Sayasombat right there with the latest developments in Bangkok, and we'll be keeping you up to speed with things as they develop.